got this old Pathfinder. And I'm gonna mix that with this diesel Jetta. It's an automatic, so it's got an 11mm injection pump. I got this on trade for next to nothing, so the diesel engine from this will be pretty cool in the Pathfinder, but there's so much about it that's a pain in the butt. And when I got this, the original, it's the owner that I bought it from, they have all these shims and stuff trying to align it for like the lift that's on it, and I don't like that. The CV axles are at a crazy angle. I just don't think I trust it. And I might end up doing a straight axle in the front, but the gearing for the straight axle is kind of strange, and I wanted to keep the rear axle that's on these because it's a really tough rear axle. And I got quite a deal on this thing because everything works, but it has first gear's bad in it, so that's what I'm doing right now. Is I'm about to take the transmission out and rebuild first gear. I know first gear is just absolutely gone. Even when we drained the transmission, metal shavings and stuff, tons of it, I should say chunks instead of shavings, came out. And I can only imagine what's going to be in there when we open this thing up. But it's a 5-speed 4-wheel drive. It's got a really nice radio in it. It's got a full sound system. There's like a 10-inch sub and everything in here. It sounds really good. All the speakers are, you know, upgraded and things. And I mean, it's dirty. But it would clean up pretty well. I don't know how keen I am to actually cleaning it up, but it's a cool little truck. And like I said, I really like the styling of these a lot, and I'd like to make it a neat little car. If I had to say everything works, quote unquote, aside from first gear, the ignition being a little wonky. But yeah, I mean, it drives up and down the road under its own power. All the other gears, as long as you start out in second, feel fine. I mean, it goes and stops. It shifts gears. It runs okay. And everything else is fine. There's speedo really doesn't work, but tack, everything else does. But it really does. It runs okay. It's definitely not great by any stretch of the means, and it's kind of a turd. It's the factory Nismo T37Xs, the real Volks, and brand new 33-inch Geolanders all the way around it. So, but I was thinking that maybe I could drop the front diff a little bit. Maybe that would take away some of the angle from the axles, because the diff is really good. It's really strong. It's kind of overkill for what it is, and it would be perfect for the TDI, but man, this thing's gonna be a ton of work. But it should be a neat little ride. Just have a lot of things to figure out. So I guess we can call this like a phase 1. And I guess the first thing, I'll just go ahead and I need to go ahead and pull the trans out and start getting that worked on. And then we'll start pulling the TDI from the Jetta and get it in here. I mean, worst comes to worst, until I figure out what I'm going to do with suspension, I can always lower it back down. Maybe put smaller tires on it, just for the meantime. Just to get everything else sorted out, and then go back to the 33s, or hell, even 35s if I get a really cool suspension setup. I'll have to fabricate a lot of it, so I'll be doing a lot of fabrication, but I really want to make this little truck work. It'd be pretty cool. You don't see very many of these that are modified, and for a good reason. You can tell that this is not going to be some easy process, but it would be cool all in all. So yeah, I guess I'll try to record my process here. You know, a lot of these, I mean, aside from Toyota, because it seems like they're just kind of everywhere. The old, like this kind of like boxy styling, like Japanese truck off-road deal, like there's not very many of them out there, and it's so cool to see when you see one of these like old Pathfinders, or even a hard body with like, you know, a ton of like work into it, straight axle swapped and everything, and they're out playing with the big boys. It's just cool to see, because it takes a lot of work to do something like that, a whole lot of work, and there's not very much of it documented. So it's a lot of stuff that you have to kind of figure out on your own, do some math, do some fabricating, making it work for yourself. But yeah, I guess I'll do what I can. I'll see if I can't, get this thing to be a cool little ride in the end. So yeah.